We're doing one more mock draft for every team, and we're starting with the #1 overall pick, Las Vegas Raiders, in a short series dive mock draft. And let's start with the roster. And what do they need to do still? You talk about they're good at quarterback because they're going to go get Fernando Mendoza at #1. We know that for sure. They could use some running back depth. They've got their studs in here with Ashton Genty. Labe maybe step it up into #2, but they need some depth. Wide receiver. Do they have a #1 guy? No. They got Jalen Naylor. Still could add some help. Hopefully Jack Besh takes a nice little jump. Maybe Dante Thornton. But Trey Tucker going to a contract year. Tight end. You're rocking here. But you could find somebody late in the draft because Michael Mayer's a free agent in 2027. Offensive line. You got Colton Miller coming back. I think Charles Grant's going to be the starting right tackle, but you do have DJ Glaze. Could they draft somebody there to compete? Absolutely. Interior, you bring in Spencer Burford to compete with the young guys like Caleb Rogers, who I think could end up being their long-term starter. You got Jackson Powers Johnson playing him at guard. You bring in Tyler Lindenbaum, big-time free agent. So the interior looks pretty settled. Could they draft somebody? Absolutely. But I think that they've got some young guys to be able to develop, and Burford is there to give you some experience. On to the defense side of the ball. Defensive tackle. They need help. They're moving to a 3-4. They really are going to need some more bodies in here as a whole. You got Adam Butler. He's a solid veteran. You got Jonah Laulu, but they still need help. Tonka Hemingway, maybe you can play a little 5-tech for them in their 3-4. You got Booker, another pass rushing 3-tech rotational type player. So overall, they need a stud. They need a 1-tech. They need some more help in pass rush. All around defensive tackle, one of the biggest needs on the roster. Edge looks great. Max Crosby is still in town. He's as motivated as ever. Thank you, Baltimore. You got Kwity Paye, who they signed, and he's going to play opposite of Max Crosby in their new 3-4 look. You got Malcolm Kuntz. You got Tyree Wilson, who can also play a little inside-out versatility. They are pretty solid there. Malcolm Kuntz, a free agent, though, after this season. Maybe they draft somebody late. Linebacker, inside linebacker, should I say. Quay Walker, signed. Nakobe Dean, signed. They've got two young, fast linebackers here. You got Jamin Davis and the iceberg, Tommy Eichenberg, to back him up. Cody Lindenberg as well. They drafted in this past one a couple years ago. Corner. This is an area they could use some depth. They could use a little bit more competition. Eric Stokes, Darian Porter, a young player who showed some flashes last season. Stokes was excellent. They re-signed him. They gave him a nice contract. So you're good on the outside. You got Cameron Richardson who can play a little safety as well, but their depth is certainly a question. That is an area we can look to address. You got Taron Johnson, who they signed in the slot. Should be a day one plug-and-play starter. Good to go. He's had some injury concerns, so while also drafting, maybe getting some more depth would helpful in that regard. Safety, definitely an area they could upgrade / they need depth here. Future-wise, Jeremy Chin, Isaiah Polamau, both free agents in 2027. This is an area they need to address in the draft. And then special teams. You got Matt Gay, who they signed on a 1-year contract. You still have AJ Cole, a really good punter, one of the best in the business. So they're locked in there. You got solid punt returners, and I feel good about that. Now it's time to get to the draft. I'm starting things off with Fernando Mendoza, the Raider. We can call him a Raider because he is. And then we go on to day 2, where things get a little bit more interesting. You got to go get your interior help with Lee Hunter. He is a hunter on that interior. He's going to give him that nice 2-gapping ability. He is strong, stout up at the middle and at the point of attack. Exactly the type of player that this team needs to help out that defensive line and give them an impact right away. We go on to Genesis Smith, the Wildcat from Arizona. Going to be a good free safety for them and give them some range for days and some interceptions and some more play-making ability behind Polamau and Jeremy Chin. But long haul, he will be a starter. We go on to day 3, where we're going Skylar Bell. He is going to be another great weapon to add in for Fernando Mendoza. What he brings to the table as a Z/slot player could certainly help them out. And what he also has in his upside is really good as a route runner. We go on to Will Lee III, Texas A&M cornerback, who gives him another outside corner that gives him some help and some more depth on the perimeter, because that is something that is a bit of a problem right now. So finding some more help with Rob Leonard being the new defensive coordinator certainly helps out. Tyler Onyemedum from Texas A&M, defensive tackle. More depth on the interior, absolutely what they need. He can rotate in there too with Laulu in Hemingsway in a lot of regards with his 3 tech, 5 tech. He can play a lot of those fronts and down positionings. He's got good length too. Emil Wagner in round number 5. We're taking a tackle from Notre Dame who's got a lot of tools. He struggled on film, especially early on. You can look at the Ruben Bain film. It wasn't good. But he played better as the season went along, and he does have those traits to be able to develop. Even though I think Grant is the starter, you have Glaze, you go ahead and get a little bit more depth just in case Colton Miller has some injuries. We move on to round number 6 now, and Jamari Taylor is going to start this one out. More depth in the running back room behind Ashton Genty and Dylan Labe and Chris Collier. They only have 3 guys right there, so I figured let's get a little bit of depth, and I think Taylor would be a good rotational player to keep Genty's legs fresh. We got to Quintavious Hutchins from Boston College, the edge rusher, outside linebacker who can drop into coverage. If they do want to play more 3-4, they could use a guy like Quintavious Hutchins who gives them some good ability to drop back into coverage and make plays. Then we go on to the last pick of the draft. I'm going with Will Kickmerrick from Ohio State, the Ohio State University, should I say. A good blocking tight end who can be their long-term number 2 tight end with Brock Bowers, a good complementary piece. He is a fantastic blocker. And if they want to run out there with 3 tight ends, oh, baby, that's going to be really, really nice for this season. However, just long term, the fact of the matter, Michael Mayer going into a contract year, do they pay him or not? Maybe he gets a better offer elsewhere. I think Mayer can be a great number 2 guy with Brock Superpowers. So that's it for the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me know how happy, excited you are, whether you want to change some picks around, come up with your own mock drafts. Always hit me up and let me know what you think. But we're so back to this draft, and we're going to be on to some crazy stuff here, and the Jets are up next. Let's go.